Making headlines. President declares that the flag recipient list has been released free from influence and interference. The government officially reopens the official jetty of Malé, the Izzuddin Jetty, following an upgrade. President announces that the road area surrounding the Izzuddin Jetty will be widened this year. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Minha Maroof. President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu declares that for the first time in Maldivian history, a flag recipient has been released free from influence and interference. He made the remarks while speaking at a function held at the Republic Square following the redevelopment and inauguration of the Izzuddin Jetty. Early on February 27, the government published the list of applicants who met the criteria to be eligible for 4,000 flats under the Gedor Ruwedia scheme. According to the list, a total of 1,820 applicants met the eligibility criteria. Speaking regarding the list, the president highlighted that the newly released list was finalized after the Anti-Corruption Commission (ACC) reviewed issues in the list issued by the previous government and reassessed the points awarded to applicants. He noted that the list states the reasons for disqualifications or ineligibility in cases where applicants do not meet the assessment criteria. He affirmed that no applicant had been intentionally removed from the list without a reason, and that the government is committed to serving the people with equality, compassion, and justice. The president encouraged applicants not deemed eligible on the list for various reasons to submit complaints through the established procedure within the specified time frame. The president stated that once the complaint period has ended, the cases will be reviewed and the individuals who are assured that even if they are not included in the list released, additional 18 and above. The president further assured that the government would not take away any flat or land allocated to any individual. He reaffirmed his commitment. President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu outlines an ambitious plan to transform Sultan Park in Malé, incorporating modern technological advancements along with new sports and recreational facilities. The announcement came during his address at the reopening ceremony of the newly redesigned Izzuddin Jetty. President highlighted the neglect and lack of renovation that Sultan Park has suffered in recent years, prompting the government to decide to assure jurisdiction over the park to ensure its comprehensive redevelopment and ongoing maintenance. Currently overseen by the Malé City Council, President Dr. Muizzu stated that the management and operation of Sultan Park will fall under government purview soon. He detailed the administration's plan to redesign and rejuvenate the park within the next 6 months. According to the president, the proposed upgrades will preserve the Maldivian identity and include features aimed at children and youth, enhanced by technological innovations. He said these improvements will offer children new learning opportunities and foster an environment conducive to family activities. The redevelopment project will extend to the surrounding areas, including the Izzuddin Jetty and Republic Square. The president also disclosed plans to introduce recreational facilities such as a bowling alley. The last major redevelopment of Sultan Park took place under President Dr. Muizzu's tenure as the housing ministries in a previous administration, when the park was renamed Rasrani Bagicha and equipped with numerous new amenities and recreational activities for children. In the past 5 years, the park has seen no significant updates aside from the reversion of its name to Sultan Park. Expressing concern over the current state of Sultan Park, President reaffirmed his commitment to revitalizing this important community space. The government officially reopens the official jetty of Malé, the Izzuddin Jetty, following an upgrade designed to reflect the national identity, culture and heritage of the Maldives. The newly redeveloped jetty was inaugurated by the President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu. The redevelopment of Izzuddin Jetty was awarded to Maldives Transport and Contracting Company (MTCC) in August 2023 for over $713,000. The renovation aimed to preserve the jetty's historical significance while also ensuring its durability. The official jetty was first a wooden jetty built on the occasion of the Maldives' 25th Independence Day during former President Maumoon Abdul Gayoom's tenure. The jetty was later redesigned and named Izzuddin Jetty for the 50th Independence Day anniversary under President Abdullah Yameen. The jetty was named after Sultan Hassan Izzuddin or Dom Badarin, who ruled the Maldives for 7 years after liberating it from the Malabars. Prior to this, a jetty developed by President Muhammad Amin Didi stood at the same site. The latest redevelopment follows years of neglect, restoring the jetty to its former grandeur and significance. The design draws inspiration from the original design of the jetty built in 1950s during President Muhammad Amin's tenure. The Izzuddin Jetty is an important building that symbolizes the honor, sovereignty and independence of the people of the Maldives. It is also a vital transport hub for resorts and cruise liners and remains one of the most important landmarks of Malé. President Dr. Muhammad Muizzu announces that the road area surrounding the Izzuddin Jetty will be widened and developed to a modern standard this year. He made the announcement while speaking at the opening ceremony of the newly redesigned and redeveloped Izzuddin Jetty. The government has committed to redeveloping all the roads of Malé and Vilimale during the current term. While the road development project will be carried out as grant aid from the Chinese government, the feasibility study for the project is currently ongoing, according to the president. The practical work of the project would commence soon, he stated. The president said that the area between the Maldives Transport and Contracting Company (MTCC), Henveru Ferry Terminal and the local market will not be included as part of the road development initiative under Chinese grant assistance. This area will be developed separately under the state budget and the project will be handed over to MTCC, he announced. According to the president, the project will include the widening of the road to include 2 lanes on each side by reclaiming a portion of the sea using sheet piling. He said all necessary underground infrastructure will be installed before the road is built and tarred. The foundation stone of the Futaro Ufa Square has been laid in Ha Alif Ihavandu. The foundation stone for the new community square was laid by the First Lady, Madam Sajida Muhammad, at a special ceremony held in Ihavandu on February 27th. The event was attended by the Minister of Health Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim and parliamentarian for Ihavandu constituency Ahmed Nasir. The Futaro Ufa Square is a joint initiative by the Ihavandu Women's Development Committee and the Adam Khalifan Hussein Foundation, AKH Foundation. The Square Health Center and an aim of establishing such a space is to provide the island's residents with the opportunity to spend time with their families in a happy environment, according to the Ihavandu Council. The space will feature play areas for children of different age groups, sports facilities, seating areas and huts. The square will also double as a green space for recreational activities and community events. The council said construction is expected to reach completion within the current year. Dr. Muhammad Shahim Ali Said expresses his vision to consolidate all funds under the Ministry of Islamic Affairs into a single, unified fund. The minister made the statement while speaking at a ceremony held to launch the opportunity to make charitable contributions through the Maldives Maldives Inland Revenue Authority, always been eager to spend on charity, noting their long-standing commitment to supporting Muslim communities in need across the world. However, he stressed the importance of allocating resources to address pressing issues within the Maldives as well, such as the establishment of Quran classes and centers and mosques and the construction and maintenance of mosques. The minister stated that existing funds should be merged to create a centralized fund which has the capacity to further be expanded. Such a fund must be able to produce the resources necessary to create financial capability of religious development. He said the opening of the current opportunity via MIRA is a significant step towards achieving this goal. Speaking at the ceremony, MIRA's Commissioner General of Taxation Hassan Zarir highlighted that the tax agency already accepts zakat payments under its systems to assist the Islamic ministry. He said the introduction of the charitable donations via Varo Pay allows individuals to contribute towards the construction construction and renovation of mosques and Islamic centers. The Bara Island Council in Ha Alif Atoll announces plans to establish a museum dedicated to preserving and showcasing the island's rich and cultural historical heritage. The council has informed that construction of the museum will commence this year. This decision was announced during a meeting with officials from the Ministry of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage who focused on the protection and preservation of the island's historical artifact and heritage. The meeting was also attended by Adam Nasir Ibrahim, the Minister of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage. Bara Council President Sofat Muhammad disclosed that funds have been allocated in the council's budget for this project and that the necessary financial resources has been secured. During the discussion, council members outlined their ongoing efforts to safeguard and preserve the island's cultural heritage and historical artifacts. Speaking at the meeting, Minister Ibrahim expressed the ministry's commitment to supporting the museum development project. He also took the opportunity to inquire about the island's cultural heritage and historical artifacts, encouraging council members to document and preserve information regarding these treasures. After the meeting, Minister Ibrahim toured some of Bara's historical sites. Among these are items related to Sultan Muhammad Takrufanu Al-Azam, the leader of the rebellion against the Portuguese colonial rule, ultimately achieving independence. The Portuguese colonized the Maldives in 1558 and ruled for 15 years. Historical documents indicate that the renowned vessel Karwa Fummi, used by Sultan Muhammad Takrufanu and his forces during the resistance, was constructed on Bara. During his visit to Ha Alif Atoll, Minister Ibrahim also traveled to Utimu and Takandu as part of efforts to develop a comprehensive plan for the conservation and preservation of cultural and heritage artifacts associated with Sultan Muhammad Takrufanu. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen holds bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi and tasks team to finalize the free trade agreement with India before the end of this year. She called for a trade and investment deals on semiconductors, green hydrogen and AI and agreed to strengthen cooperation over peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. The visit by von der Leyen, accompanied by leaders of EU nations, comes at a time of rising geopolitical tension with Brussels.
And one of the best examples of this partnership is the new Federation of European Businesses in India. It brings together 6,000 EU companies, which have created 8 million direct and indirect jobs in this economy. Now we have tasked our teams to build on this momentum and finalize our free trade agreement before the end of the year. We're expecting a lot of our trade negotiators. We told them they should surprise us.
Talks for an India-EU free trade deal resumed in 2021 after have been stalled for 8 years and now covers issues from investment protection to geographical indications.
This allows us to tackle important economic challenges together and to build robust and diverse supply chains, such as, for example, in semiconductors, a very important topic we have been working intensively on. And I'm glad to note that AI is a major focus of the Trade and Technology Council. The European AI Office and India AI Mission also agree on deepening the cooperation. And we will apply AI in the areas of natural hazards, climate change, and bioinformatics.
The EU is India's largest trading partner in goods, with two-way trade growing about 90% over a decade to stand at $137.5 billion in fiscal year 2023-24. Palestinians in Gaza's Khan Yunis gears up for the Muslim holy month of Ramadan with some light decorations set up between the rubble and crowds shopping in markets. Despite a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, people in the Palestinian enclave remembered Ramadan before the war and said the festive atmosphere is overshadowed by the struggle of daily life. 77-year-old Abu Salah Mahdi said that people in Gaza have no houses and money and they are exhausted all their means of life. According to him, they ask God that the month of Ramadan passes on them without airstrikes and that they get aid, caravans and tents to shelter the people because this year is very difficult. Nearby vendors in the market in Khan Yunis Al-Bahar Street were happy people could find meat, vegetables and juices and said prices were better than during the war. A three-phase ceasefire in Gaza went into effect on January 19th and has led to the handover of 33 Israeli hostages held in Gaza and some 2,000 Palestinian prisoners and detainees held by Israel. Israel announced on February 27 it was sending negotiators to Cairo for talks, seeking to extend a first phase of that ceasefire, in the apparent aim of securing the release of more hostages while delaying any final deal on Gaza's future. The announcement came after Hamas handed over 4 bodies of hostages, the last due to be released under the terms of the 6-week first phase of the ceasefire that started on January 19th. Talks have yet to begin on a second phase that would ultimately lead to a permanent end to the war. The latest bloodshed in the decades-old Israeli-Palestinian conflict was triggered on October 7, 2023, when Hamas attacked Israel, killing 1,200 people and taking some 250 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. According to Palestinian authorities, more than 48,000 Palestinians have been killed in Israel's assault on Gaza. The war has laid waste to the crowded coastal enclave and has displaced the majority of its population multiple times. Daniil Medvedev downplays his verbal spat with chair umpire Adel Noor, telling media at his post-match news conference on February 27 that they have already talked it out and that he respects him. Medvedev had earlier lost his cool and angrily accused Noor of double standards during his Dubai Tennis Championships quarter-final against Dutchman Talen Griekspoor.
Yeah, but we actually did talk already after the match, and you know what happens on court. Sometimes I go too far, but again, I'm not going to discuss too much about it. I was not happy with one of his decisions, and it can happen. We talked after the match. We how to say, calm down the situation even if there was nothing hot or boiling. I respect him a lot, yeah, I maybe went just a bit too far. I don't think I said anything too bad, but maybe just went a bit too far, so actually got a code, and that's it.
Top seed Medvedev received a code violation warning for unsportsmanlike conduct after losing the second set, and in a heated exchange with Noor accused him of double standards against a Russian. The Russian had let 4 match points slip during the second set before suffering a 2-6, 7-6, 7-5 loss. As an aging population in Japan causes a severe shortage of care workers, researchers hope AREC can ease the problem.
As an aging population in Japan causes a severe shortage of care workers, researchers hope AREC can ease the problem. It is an AI-driven humanoid robot designed to carry out tasks for elderly people who need critical care, such as changing diapers or preventing bed sores. AREC is being developed by researchers at Japan's Waseda University. The project is funded by a government program designed to foster disruptive innovation to resolve difficult societal issues. Professor Shigeki Sugano leads the research.
As we are entering a super-aging society and the birth rate is declining, we will need robots' support in providing medical and elderly care and in our daily lives. Unfortunately, the current robot technologies are still in a premature stage when it comes to interacting with people and supporting them. The ultimate goal of our project is to somehow achieve that.
Sugano says AREC can make physical contact with people safely and adjusts its actions in response to spontaneous human moves. A dwindling working age in Japan has prompted the country to turn its eyes to robots for a solution. Over the next decade, the number of people in the 15 to 64 age bracket is projected to fall almost 10%, according to the National Institute of Population and Social Security Research. This care facility in Tokyo is already experimenting with various smart devices to help reduce caregivers' burden. Its COO, Takashi Miyamoto, says a chronic labor shortage in the elderly care sector will likely only get worse. He believes the days when robots will work alongside human caregivers are, quote, certain to come. Resident Yukiko Namekata was asked about her view on the possibility of having a robot care worker. She said, "Isn't it a little too early for that?" Care worker Takagi is cautiously optimistic about the use of robots.
If such a robot were really created, I think it would be very helpful to us in the field. However, I'm a little bit worried that the warmth generated from human interaction between residents and caregivers and the subtle communication, such as reading the room and understanding the situation, might be difficult to replicate.
Sugano hopes AIRREC can start to be put into actual use in various occasions by 2040. And by 2050, he hopes it will be able to work independently at a nursing care facility or even conduct medical operations with doctors.
That's all we have for now. Thank you for watching and wish you all a very pleasant day ahead.